fine. Just go.
Welcome back to the Opinion 2.0. Thanks for coming back. It's been a minute. My name is Mickey. To the left of my table is your co-host. His name is...
Oh, it's Yas. Hi, guys.
Yeah, bro. We here again in the same studio because someone likes the house a lot. Side eye.
Your jokes choke, my guy. Your
Today,
jokes
yeah.
choke.
We all tired, man. That's why.
Nah, actually, I'm just not in the mood for jokes, bro. I'm done.
Yeah, so it's going to be a serious conversation today, everyone. So what are we talking about today, bro?
Today I want to talk mental health, just a little bit. A touch on mental health, because that's a prevailing issue in society today. More so focused on ADHD, right? Which means attention deficit. What's it? Hyperactivity disorder.
Big words.
Big man things.
Big man.
Again, disclaimer for this episode: we are not doctors. We don't claim to be doctors. We just have an opinion on things. Okay,
100%.
so we'll do that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So you also you actually sent me something recently about it. Yeah. And that was quite
a very interesting
It was an
conversation.
conversation we had. Yeah.
That was a really interesting one. Yeah. I mean, damn.
I'm just trying to find it now, actually, because I know on the it actually it gives you the different types. So there's more than one type of ADHD. ADHD is not just ADHD.
There's three types. Types.
Yeah. According to what you sent me.
According to Google
Okay.
and my effective
To
research
Google
skills.
To Google it.
Google.
Where's that thing?
Google.
Here we go. What is that? Google.
G.
Gulu.
Gulu. Oh, I had to squeal off now. This was supposed to be a serious episode.
Yeah, let's get serious.
Oosa.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Right. So you get three types. Type 1 is inattention without hyperactivity, right? Which is inattention of both of our parts at the moment.
Wait. We're laughing because our cameraman is back today and he's making those expressions again.
We've got a team today, guys. We've got a whole team today, so things are fun. Things are back to being more fun.
Okay, you were saying.
Type 1 ADHD, inattention without hyperactivity.
Take 3. Inattention. Time out.
I read that thrice now. I'm done reading that one.
Okay.
Okay, type 2 ADHD. Hyperactivity without inattention.
Oh,
So
wow.
a flip on that, right?
Okay.
And then you get a combination, which is a combination of both of the above, right?
The destructive one.
Destructive?
The third one is destructive. It's very self-destructive.
How so?
Well, from the research
Please
I did.
explain.
So type 2, correct me if I'm wrong, has impulsive natures in it, right? So there's impulsivity,
Yeah.
like overachiever, overreactive.
That's hyperactivity. Yeah,
so
that's the thing.
so the hyperactive is everything, right? So therefore, like the impulse mixed with the lazy aspect of type 1, or like the lack of activity, kind of makes you do things that you cannot explain, man. So like for instance, you go to a mall, you want a cup of coffee, so you go to Starbucks, but then you end up going to Starbucks and not just buying a coffee, you now buy a coffee, a mocha, a donut, and you spend more money, which can be very self-destructive, especially if you have a budget. You get what I'm saying? Like that's a minimalistic thing.
Yeah, it's a simple example.
Now imagine you have that amplified resource of cash, like you have a lot of money, bruh. And now you're like, okay, I need to buy me a car, I need to be fuel efficient, I need to be X, Y, and Z. You end up buying like a 6 liter because you had an impulse. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I say it's self-destructive, because anything that dries up your resources is self-destructive.
Especially because like the bulk of people have limited resources.
Yeah.
You know? So understandably so.
Limited resources equals limited warranty.
Personally, my opinion is that ADHD is... It's not that I don't believe in it, but it's like, it's... I told you something very nice in response to this, eh?
Yes.
Because you suspect that you have ADHD.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I do
the
think
type 2, the hyperactivity and so
the
on.
more I did it, the more it makes sense.
You are hyperactive, you are impulsive, all of those things. And therefore you think you have ADHD. And then I said, it would be an easy way to excuse any unbecoming actions or behavior. And then I said, I don't believe in ADHD personally.
So in short terms, ADHD is a psyop, my bro.
I believe so. Well, for the most part. Like, fair enough, yes.
So is the time I'm gonna do the sound effect. Da-da-da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. But like
So
7 episodes in and we still don't have a soundboard.
yeah,
Come on,
no,
bro.
we'll get there. We'll get there with with everybody's support. I'm sure we're
Mr.
gonna get there
Producer.
quite soon.
No way.
So my whole thing is the fact that like with regards to your situation and you suspecting that you have it, I don't believe so because of the fact that it's not continuous. It's not all the time
Okay.
that you are actually you do actually feel that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For you, it's like, yeah, sometimes I'm like this, sometimes I'm like this. So I think so. Nah, bruh, hot miss for you. Because the thing is, it's like,
Hot miss.
if sometimes you are able to control it,
Yeah.
that means all the time you actually are able to control it.
So self-control
It's just a matter of,
is the cure.
in a sense, yeah. Sometimes, like,
ADHD.
for example, if it's all the time and you actually can't control it, fair enough, yes, there is an issue.
Yeah.
But if sometimes I'm like this, and now I have ADHD, nah, bruh. And I do believe that doctors are quick to diagnose it because it just means that, okay, cool, here's medication. Here's more medication.
Hey, bro.
Pharmaceutical companies get
Big
more money from
pharma.
you. Yes, bruv.
Hey,
That's my
bro.
whole thing. Because I don't believe that it's actually that bad. But it's just easy for the doctor to say, for example, right? If you go to the doctor with a cough, and he says, okay, it might be an infection, you take an antibiotic. That antibiotic doesn't work. Here's a different antibiotic, try this one. That antibiotic, here's a different antibiotic,
And
try
every
that
time
one.
you go to the doctor, that's a consultation fee, and you have to get the meds with if you're on medical aid or cash, whatever you.
Whatever it is,
You're
yeah.
still spending resources to get that new round of medical like medicine or
A medical service, basically.
yeah.
Yeah. So, in that sense, I believe that for the most part, I don't have stats on it, because obviously, like this, I don't believe that it's actually been delved into to that extent where
Yeah.
there's actual numbers on like if it's real, if it's not real, if people who are actually diagnosed actually have ADHD or not. So I can't say for sure, but personally, I do believe that maybe give or take 50%, 30%, 40% of people who are actually diagnosed don't really have it. They just have behavioral issues
They
that
just
they need
lack
to see to.
self-control, in other words.
Exactly that, yeah. And
Discipline.
I mean, that's prevalent now, especially with the younger generations, is that there's compared to like when I was growing up,
Yeah.
right? And to your generation, because
Maybe,
we
bro.
are different generations.
100%.
entirely, right? And, maybe even our filming guys' generation as well. Because I don't know if we even fall in the same generation.
It's the facial expression, man. Like I wish we could have a mirror here so you could see
Yeah.
what we are
I
seeing.
think we need another camera.
yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Let's do that for the next episode.
And then because things, I mean, as time went on now, like there's so many more issues with younger generations than there were before, and with each generation there's more and more and more and more,
Yeah.
which means like there's something happening which is influencing that,
Okay.
and that's basically where I get my opinion and perspective from, is the fact that it's because of our modern day way of living and the way people are nowadays is actually what influences what happens to the younger generations.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna get out of
that's-
my rabbit hole now. I
That's your-
think
that's-
you can.
I'm having a whole lot of like woke moments here, like kwa, twa, twa. Like you talked about like big pharma, you spoke about like ADHD possibly being a psyop, lack of self-control. There was so much things in there, but like for me, what stands out about it is that like, and you also mentioned social influence, right? Social media influence in itself. Social media, my bro. As much as we love it, I mean, we're doing this on social media. What attracts you to watch something? A trailer,
Yeah.
a movie,
A small little, what's it, a 1-2 minute clip
of
that you're
exciting
gonna see.
parts.
Yeah.
So does that not, in a sense, kind of promote ADHD? Because it's the same with TikTok. Look at TikTok. Look at how TikTok has revolutionized social media. Instagram was like the main media of social media platform, and Facebook.
For a while, yeah.
Facebook didn't have reels. Instagram didn't have reels. You know, when Instagram wasn't like purplish, it was blue still, and like they had that.
Yo, I remember that, eh?
That was like, you know, when Instagram was actually like still just pictures. You could just post a picture and you couldn't even hashtag the captions.
Yeah.
It was like an online diary, and then it went from that to having these clipped moments in time that allow people to access kind of like a clickbait. So in other words, ADHD in itself is being influenced, well, in my opinion at least, by social media, and media companies, because even movies. But
Mm.
I like. Have you seen a trailer of the latest Creed movie, for example? For those who have, I mean, I don't know if you have.
I don't think I have. I've
It's
seen little like references to it, but I haven't actually watched the trailer
like
itself.
people make big money off those clips. Like
Yeah.
for instance, they do reaction videos on it because like, oh, you're mad. This is this is what they're saying in this
Mm.
moment. This is the reference it's making. Then you go watch the movie and the movie doesn't live up to expectations because the IMDb rating is lower, but the trailer's IMDb rating is higher.
Mm.
So it's the same thing. Like I find myself, especially with like anime, also because anime is 20 minutes, kids. Most of the time, anime is only 15 minutes because the opening is 3 minutes and the closing is 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you enjoy that opening song because you're like, oh, vibes, and there's different graphics and there's little shorts in there. But then the episode is dumb.
Mm.
And then they're like, I mean, SABC 2 back in the Dragon Ball Z. Next week, will Vegeta. You know what I
Sure,
mean?
my guy, and then that whole
Then
whole
dub come
scene
on.
that whole scene goes for like the whole week, bruh. That one
Bruh,
scene,
yes.
it's like a whole week long.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like back then, and this is something my mom was telling me about, like in the olden days, the soap operas didn't really have adverts. I see what you're looking at. I'm also looking at that.
Mm.
And yeah, I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I think it should be.
We'll get back to it. It's fine.
Yeah. So in the olden days, my mom was saying like soap opera in itself, like there was adverts, but it wouldn't like leave you on cliffhangers.
Mm.
And that started with like textbooks, bruh, with books. Because like there's the first guy I think that did a cliffhanger. I feel like he was the guy that created ADHD. Because it was literally a person hanging on the edge of a cliff. You get what I'm saying?
Mm.
So it's like, what kind, man? You know what I mean?
Let's check
But
something.
social media also, and now let's cut from social media. Let's go to like big pharma.
Aside, wait, before social media, there's a point I want to make on that as well, right? There is a point with regards to look at music,
Yeah.
right? Back when I was growing up, songs were like 5 minutes long, bruh. That was like the average song was like 5 to 6 minutes long, right? Now songs are what?
3 to 4 minutes.
3 to 4 minutes long.
2.5.
Sometimes even 2.5 minutes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So also because of that, because people don't want to listen for longer than that, because the attention span is shortened at this point now.
Makes sense.
Right? And that's also basically been, and that's how it influences people's attention spans as well. Right? And nowadays, like a child is what, 2-3 years old, they've got their own phone.
Yeah.
They're going on TikTok, they're going on Instagram, they're looking at all those things, and I think that is shortening the attention span in a developing brain. And ADHD is usually diagnosed in those early stages of life as well.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It's a
So
spectrum, yeah.
exactly. So because of all those influences that we are exposing our children to, it's basically having those long-term effects. But I think if parents take the right steps,
We may have to pause there for some technical difficulties.
cool. So like I was saying, if parents take the right steps
Yeah.
to monitor the children's behavior and like the things that they are exposed to when they are
Yes.
younger, it's highly likely that we could bring down the numbers of ADHD in future generations. But it's just so much easier. Here's a phone.
May, bro.
Quiet, here's a phone. Sort yourself out. Go chill there. Watch a paar videos. Whatever.
Yo,
and
that's
then-
true, actually.
Yes, my guy. So be careful.
Teacher Rachel, my bro.
Yeah, but the thing is, that's different. How long is a teacher racial video?
Well, on YouTube it's over an hour.
Exactly. It's different things, yes. But it's also, it exposes the child not to like short forms of entertainment, but it's
Okay.
short forms of education.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? So there's a
Crazy.
difference in that. There's a difference in that. But it's more the fact that, so what I think it more relates to also, it's the fact of, like TikTok example, it's all entertaining things that's on there. It's a minute of a quick dopamine fix of entertainment.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So because it's affecting different chemical reactions within the brain, because it's it's triggering different chemicals and what's
Chemicals and reactions and hormonal
neurolinks
secretions.
and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
It's different the way it responds in the body.
It actually affects the pituitary gland because that secretes the
There we
Whatever.
go. That's the one.
pituitary gland, bro. Medical science.
We are not,
Not
doctors.
doctors.
We're really not doctors. We just
Yeah.
know some things. So yeah, man. Personally, I don't know your stance on it. What's your stance exactly? Like, do you believe that after like what I've said?
My bro, the thing is now I'm questioning that, man. Like, because it makes sense, right? But also I think it comes to something we've referred to a lot lately is that there's a vast difference in our age, man. So for those who don't know, if you do know, great for you. If you don't, I'm 23 years old. You are?
I'm 32 years old.
There's a massive gap between us.
Me, I'm a Bali.
Oh, Bali. Bali ass. And I feel like sometimes, if I look back now, that conversation actually triggered my thought process on like, how did I behave when I was 18? How was I behaving when I was 17?
Yeah.
How was I behaving when I was 20? And then I realized something, that the older you get, the more control you get. And that's something that we spoke about previously. And now I'm like, okay, so then if I actually sit and do self-introspection, in my moment of solitude. Yeah. Then I look back and I think, okay, cool. I've grown in this aspect of my life.
Yeah.
And maybe now I need to grow in this aspect of my life. So like maintaining that constant control. I think that's something you do master with age. It's something you've always told me. It's something I've also picked up from these huge influencers. But I find that the people and the content I interact with, all of them are about your age.
Yeah.
Majority of them are like above 28.
Yeah.
And it's like the older you get, the smarter and more, not smarter per se, but more wise, and you have more social construct understanding.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's made me question.
You can see through the lies, man.
Yeah,
That's
man.
the thing.
It's like, you don't have woke movement, you have woke moments. Right, I mean? So it's almost like, how do I say, I'm now starting to question ADHD because I've never been formally diagnosed. I mean, I've been diagnosed with another mental health disorder. That does make sense because it's like physically changing in my brain. There were scans. That's different, right? But in a sense in itself, I mean, I was watching this episode of a podcast with this guy, Sneeko. For those who know Sneeko, he was cancelled on YouTube. He's known as a former YouTuber. But he was diagnosed with ADHD, right? And he said since he's been interacting with the circle of people he's interacting with now, the encouragement to get in the gym, to focus on yourself, make money, there's no time for ADHD, but there's more time for self-control.
Exactly.
So it's a similar thing you were saying. So I was like, do I believe ADHD is real? I'm sure some parts of it are, but I do think that there is a psyop involved.
Yeah, the thing is, for the control itself, right, it requires discipline. Right?
Respect and discipline.
If you have discipline, it ties into your models, it ties into your daily behavior, right? And if you have that, you don't have time for things like ADHD and all of those things, whatever, because it's just not going to work, right?
Yeah.
And it's easier to control people who don't have that discipline. So it's easier to influence the mind of somebody who has no discipline and has no mental fortitude. So they try and prevent you from actually developing that from an early age. That ties all back into social media influence on children.
Yes. That is our
would be food.
Yeah, so we got us food.
Yeah. Give me 2 seconds, people.
Yeah. I'll just
that's a common theme, eh?
Away.
I bet.
That was nice. So yeah, man.
So yeah, it ties back into that social media influence. So just be better parents. Not taking any shots.
Be better parents.
I'm a first-time parent at the moment.
I'm a
so
twice-time
can't.
parent.
Yeah, so I can't really say too much about that. But
you be a better parent. Is my response of what people would probably be saying when they watch this episode.
Probably, yeah. But I'm not taking shots, though. I'm not taking shots. It's just be cautious with what's out there, especially with social media and so on. It's a dangerous world. The internet is very dangerous, so be wary. Stay on top of it, because before you know it, your child's acting out, and now they have all these issues and all these problems. Yeah, and then it's like, how do I deal with this? And it's like, and parents stress, and just save yourself the trouble, Rob. Don't give your child a phone till they're like, I don't know, 16 or some shit.
When did you get your first phone?
I got my first phone, my own phone, when I was 16.
Yeah, for me it was
I think I was 16. I was in high school, yeah.
Grade 8 for me. So, I mean, that would be like, what, 12 or 13?
That's before the age of social media necessarily, my guy. That was like mixed days, bruv.
I think when I started high school, like I was on Facebook. But like Facebook was my social media platform and Instagram.
Mm.
And then obviously WhatsApp became a thing because
Nah,
I
it
switched from a
was
BlackBerry. I had a
when
BB.
I just got a phone, it was Mixit. MySpace
I
was
was
kind
also-
of like a thing that
MySpace.
time. Yeah,
I was on Mixit also because that was before
Bruh,
WhatsApp became a
Mixit was
thing.
the best,
Yes,
bruv.
bruh.
Mixit beats all of
What
this
the-
modern
What
day
was your Mixit
bullshit,
name,
bruv.
man? For
I
10
can't
marks.
even remember.
You know what mine was? Chick Magnet.
Ah.
With 2 chickens on the end.
Yeah, dude, the nicknames,
And a magnet.
the nicknames on that was the funniest.
I
Looking
know.
back now, it's like, wow, this was the world, eh?
Yes,
that was life.
Yo.
Nah. Anyways, we digress. Always, as per usual.
Look, man, I think look, this episode's gonna be quite interesting for the audience, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
If you have any opinions that you want to share with us or any feedback on the episode, there will come an email up on your screen. The opinion 2.0 podcast@gmail.com. Below the description, there is a link with many links. Do the
Yeah.
things. Click the links.
You know what to do.
And
We've
on
said
top
so
of that,
before.
You know, the most important part, me bro, is to like this video, subscribe to the channel,
Mm-hmm.
and turn on the notification bell. And an extra step, put it on all, man. Not personalized, because normally it'll be on personalized. Put it on all so you can get all the notifications of the show. And if you want to be on the show in the future, reach out to us. We'll make it happen. You know?
Do things.
And away.
Use
have
the
anything?
platforms we just spoke about. Use all of those platforms.
Yeah.
We're all over there.
Away.
You know?
Do the
Not
things.
not to say that we're part of the problem, but I mean, you know?
Yeah, I mean, again, thanks for joining us today. This was interesting.
Thanks so much, guys.
The Opinion 2.0 episode. I can't remember the number.
Yeah. It's just another episode.
Yeah,
You
look,
know,
I
we'll be
mean,
back again next week.
We'll be back next week, and then yeah, have a fantastic day. Enjoy. Thanks for pulling through from me, Mick, and my co-host.
Yes.
We
Cheers,
out.
people.
Safe.